and then we'll get into the trade. Awesome. All right, cool. So let me go ahead and just present and do the presenting screen. There we go. All right, awesome. Oop. You guys can see the screen? Yes. All right,
Yes.
awesome. Thank you so much for your time, guys. So yes, we're going to be discussing, and remember to be fully present, bring your full attention to the Zoom, eliminate distractions as much as you possibly can. Stay with the conversation, drop insights in the conversation, because I'm sure if you are getting insight, somebody else might get an insight as well from what you're gathering. So make sure you use the chat. Today's conversation is about creating unstoppable momentum no matter what. Even like me right now, right? I could have been stopped by, I'm in Paris, right? I just flew from Rome into Paris. We had it all planned out. I was supposed to, get into the room at a certain time. We were supposed to be settled in, and I was going to do this call from there. But, life happens, right? Our flight was delayed like 45 minutes. So because of that, now I'm hosting the call at the airport. But that's just a little demonstration, right? How interesting that I'm talking about unstoppable momentum and I'm being tested myself right now, right? So just want to give you guys some perspective, right? That the momentum and the things in life are going to continue to happen, right? But what do we do when things happen in our life? Do we stop? Do we get stopped? Do we pause? Right? Do we take the foot off the gas pedal? That's what I want to help you guys discover and to, continue to go. So let's tune into some gratitude. Put it in the chat, at least one thing you could be grateful for today. I am extremely grateful to have internet connection. I was doubting my Wi-Fi signal. I'm like, man, I really am. So I'm very grateful that I have great Wi-Fi. I'm grateful that I'm here with all of you. But at least one thing you could be grateful for in the chat, right? Limati said grateful for family, clients, career. At least one thing you could be grateful for today. It could be you woke up. It could be you have the ability to see. It could be you have the ability to hear. At least one thing you could be grateful for. Put it in the chat. At least one thing. Another day. Yep, exactly. The Monday motivation. Yes. Monday, grateful for access to trains with high energy. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Our great business at eXp Realty. Absolutely. Absolutely. Grateful for opportunity to continue learning. Absolutely. Yes. You definitely need to have a mindset of learning. Another opportunity. Answered prayers. I love that. Amen. I love that. I love that. I'm grateful to God. I'm grateful for the opportunities. I'm grateful for the opportunities that this business has given me, the knowledge I will receive today. And Hilda, yes, absolutely. All right. Well, thank you guys for playing full out. I appreciate you guys dropping in some insights, some gratitude, because gratitude, remember this, guys, gratitude is an abundance multiplier. Whatever you focus on, it expands. So if you start to focus on all the stuff that's going wrong in your life, you're going to start to see a lot of more things going wrong in your life. If you start to focus on all the things you could be grateful for, which is just the simple things, right? The most important things are the simple things in life. Okay. Love it. Thank you guys for participating. So I'm going to get into just local market update here. I go over this every single week. Next week, which is going to be the first week of July, I'm going to do a full market update for the month of June, just to catch you guys up what's happening in the real estate industry. But this is just the 5 counties that we have around us in here in California, Southern California market to be exact. So I measured LA County, Orange County, San Bernardino, Riverside, and San Diego. We have 1.6 billion closings in the last 7 days in LA. We have 860 million closings in Orange County, 256 million in San Bernardino, 442 million in Riverside, and 567 million closed in 7 days in San Diego. So, and look at the active listings. 1,500 listings hit the market in LA. 502 hit the market in Orange County. 517 in San Bernardino, 649 in Riverside, and 768 in San Diego. So if we total out, right, each one of these counties, right, if we total out all of them, that gives us a grand total of $3.8 billion in closings, 3,200 homes closed, and $94 million in commissions paid. Okay. So I just, again, right, you should be doing this in your market, understand what's happening in your zip code, understand what's happening to your city, because your customers are looking up to you for leadership right now. They want to know, Leo, what's going on with the market, right? Everybody's worried, like, hey, where's the market going? Let them know reality, right? Let them know what the actives, the pendings, the backup offers, like really understand that, because the more information you know, the more you have the ability to grow, the more you have the ability to make a difference for your customers. So that's the local market update. Like I said, we're going to do a national market update in the coming week, because I'm going to gather all the information, all the content. And also, as a reminder, as always, guys, it's never the market, it's always a mindset. You guys got to keep your mindset stronger than ever, right? There's so many distractions out there. You need to keep yourself focused. And another reminder is, well, the mortgage rates, right? The mortgage rates are kind of like hovering right around the same, right? 30-year fixed rate, 6.7, 6.9. Obviously, you guys were part of most of you were part of the call that we did with Bill Pice last week. And it was an amazing call, right? And he did indicate, obviously, that based on the research, based on the data, we should have interest rates coming down. So I think that's going to really stimulate and help everything in the market. But this is where we're currently at. A 15-year fix is in the fives, 5.7 to 5.79, right? 30-year fixed jumbo is a 6.79, 6.8, and an adjustable is right around 6%. So that's the interest rates, right, for the local markets here. And now we're just going to get into just the trainings, right? Terry already sent out the newsletter, which included all of the information about the training. So just make sure you guys stay plugged in, okay? Stay plugged in and lean into training, lean into coaching, lean into accountability, lean into these platforms, and also take massive action. Right now is not the time to slow down. You guys got to speed up. You got to go all gas, no brakes right now. Specifically by, tuning into skills mastery at 8:30 in the morning, right? 8:30 in the morning, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That happens every day. Mo and Maria, right? Amazing couple, right? They hold it down every day, right? And they're practicing scripts and dialogues, guys. So if you really want to achieve mastery, you got to practice your scripts and dialogues. Dream Chasers Mastermind, that's happening tomorrow as well. And this week's Realtor Mastermind is actually going to be a women's mastermind. So stay tuned for that. And there's going to be some information sent over to everybody about that training.
Hey, Neil,
Last but not,
sorry to
yes.
interrupt. I think your screen got a little wider. It's
Oh, let
out.
me see.
So we're seeing kind of
Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Can you see me now?
yeah, and it's still expanded.
What do you see on your side? Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I think, yeah, there you go. Much better.
Let's see. I think I just but I think I'm not sharing the whole screen anymore. Hold on a second. Let's see. I don't know what I did now. Let me go back. All right, so I'm going to share the screen again. Presenter view, present. I think I might have like zoomed into it or something.
Right, and we can't see anything right now.
Yeah, I get that. I haven't shared the screen yet. Give me a second.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Let's see. I can't see the screen on my end now.
It says audience window.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me go back to it. Yeah, the pop-up for some reason on my end, like, actually, can you see that? Because it looks blank.
It's
Or can you
blank.
see that?
It's blank.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Let me see. Sorry, guys. Thank you guys for your patience. Let's see what's going on with this thing here. Let me go back. Let me refresh the page. Looks like my internet is okay. All right, perfect. 1 second. All right. Present. Present view. Present again. Weird. The Canva.
Do you want me to share it?
Try it again. 1 second. Let me just try it again on my end. Because I have a whole presentation that I'm going to be sharing another one here. So I just need to make sure that they're going to be able to see this one. I think we got it now. Here, I don't know what I just did. I think I just fixed it. All right. Thank you guys for your patience.
They
You guys
can't
are amazing.
really, you can't really,
You guys can see it now?
Beautiful.
All right, perfect. All right, awesome. Thank you so much. All right, so yeah, the future of real estate with Leo Pareja is happening next week, guys. So make sure you don't miss this training with Leo Pareja. This is going to be an amazing call, right? So he's going to talk about the state of the market, all of the latest and greatest updates, and he's one of the brightest minds in real estate. So make sure you don't miss this July 7th. And we also have a live event July 15th, and we're going to have a conversation about activating the giant within with Anthony Grinshaw, Fadi. We got Jennifer, myself. We're going to be holding it down. We're also adding a couple of additional speakers. So make sure you guys do not miss this amazing training. I'm also doing an amazing training with Mr. Will Higgins next week, July 10th at 11 o'clock in the city of Chino Hills. If you want to dial in artificial intelligence, him and I are going to be co-hosting this amazing training in Chino Hills. So make sure you don't miss that training and get registered as soon as possible. It is a smaller room, so we're not going to have like a ton of people. So make sure you get dialed in, and we want to go deep on AI. So if you want to, really take it to the next level, make sure you guys don't miss this training. Okay. So let me see, where did I go? Here we go. Perfect. So also we just rolled out Slack. For those of you guys have seen the social media post about this, but Slack was just rolled out to the entire company, which Slack for the longest time I was using, and I stopped using it because it started to get very expensive. But as of last week, Slack is actually automatically included for every single EXP agent. So if you haven't started to use Slack, make sure you download this app on your cell phone, scan the QR code, and also add yourself to your different groups, because we're going to be migrating away from Workplace and moving everything into Slack. So it's very, very important that you guys all download this. Okay, please download Slack, because this is where the brokers are going to be sending out information and updates. This is where we're also going to be creating a new community on Slack. This is an amazing platform. I would say it's 10 times better than WhatsApp and a whole bunch of other stuff that we've been using. So again, download this app. It's game changer. And many people that I know already, like many of the mega teams that we have within our community, are utilizing it. Fast cap, right? I talk to you guys about fast cap all the time. I just really believe in fast cap, guys. Again, you guys got to leaning in with accountability and structure. This program is dialed in for you guys here, so make sure you don't miss the fast cap program. It's happening every single month. We usually have 800 to 1,000 people that register for this, so make sure you register ASAP, because it is going to get all booked out. So now, next thing here. Oh, yeah. Here we go. EXPCon Miami. Man, I was just in EXPCon Barcelona, and let me tell you, this thing was amazing. It was off the charts, but I'm so looking forward to being in Miami as well with all of you. Guys, every single time that I go to any event, I get one idea, and I got literally like 5 different ideas that I went in and immediately implemented into my business that are absolutely going to change everything. So if you guys want to have breakthroughs, you need to do things that are going to be like that are going to be they're going to cause breakthroughs. But the way you get those breakthroughs is by being in those rooms, right? You get into rooms where other people are having massive breakthroughs. And I picked up 5 nuggets, which I'm going to be sharing about. But I definitely recommend every single person needs to get a ticket to EXP Con Miami. So the book of the week, also the 10X Rule, right, by Mr. Grant Cardone. This is an amazing book. I actually read this one and Be Obsessed or Be Average. I think Be Obsessed or Be Average is actually even that's actually my favorite book of Grant's. But this book is also amazing. These are the top 5 different like I would say the top 5 things that I took away from the book. Is set the 10X goals, right? Whatever your goal is, whatever, let's say you want to sell 100 homes. Well, what is 10X of that? It's 1,000 homes, right? So who do you need to become to sell 1,000 homes, right? You start to think differently with more energy, more enthusiasm, more excitement. Take a 10X action, which is everything. Okay, guys, like we can set up all these amazing goals, but if we're taking no action or very little action or very timid action, we're going to get very little results. Assume 100% responsibility, no excuses allowed, right? I think like every single book that I read, that's like one of the biggest distinctions, guys. Take 100% responsibility. And fear is the green light. Never move towards it. Okay, right? Like right now, right now there's a lot of challenges, a lot of noise in the world right now. This is not the time to slow down. This is the time to go all in. And also, obsession is a gift. Use it, right? I've been called obsessed so many different times throughout my career, but I think obsession is a great thing because it's going to help you to get, that's kind of energy you need to get to the next level. Also, a couple of people just want to recognize birthdays, right? We got Evelyn, Mr. Louis Chavez, Christina Romero, James Moon, Richard Ramirez, Laura, Vanessa. Happy birthday to all of you. If you guys are here, happy birthday. God bless you. If you guys know them, send them over a message, right? Make them feel special. It was their birthday. So congratulations and happy birthday to all of you. And also congratulations on your first transaction to Thomas, Carolyn, Joseph, Jacqueline, Ruby, and Lieta. Congratulations on closing your first transaction with EXP. So congrats to all of you guys. You guys are one step closer to capping and then hitting icon, right? That's the first step. And congratulations to all these cappers: Kevin, Joseph, Lieta, Nathan, Oscar. Congratulations on capping. Thank you guys so much for being outstanding. And now the next goal is to hit icon. Let's go. You guys already know I talk about this every week, but hey, if you guys are getting to the next point where you guys have limited time, you guys are looking for leverage. If you want to hire a virtual assistant, this is where you do it. Scan that QR code, you get some additional information. And I actually have 3 virtual assistants in addition to Ms. Terry. So we have 4, just staff members that we have now. So it's absolutely been game changer. So if you guys want to plug in and get a great assistant, make sure you guys scan the QR code. And if you guys are looking for artificial intelligence technology to answer your calls, answer your text messages, answer your direct messages, this technology is also going to help you to do that. So make sure you scan the QR code, and that's going to get you some additional information. So now we're going to switch gears. Thank you guys so much for listening to all the updates. But now I'm going to get into the unstoppable conversation. I actually created something really special that I've never done. You guys already know I do some new stuff all the time because I want to keep things fresh. So this conversation, not only did I create something new, but instead of like just creating a workbook, I actually created an entire website for today's training. So I'm going to be dropping a link into the chat here shortly. That is going to be a workbook that's going to be following along with what we're going to be talking about. The information that you're going to be submitting into the website is not going to be shared with anybody. It's not even going to be shared with me. It's actually going to just structure the information. And at the end of the training, the great thing is going to happen is that you're going to click submit, and you're going to be able to download a PDF of everything you just filled out. And you're going to use a prompt utilizing artificial intelligence, and it's going to help you to create your entire game plan for the next 12 months. So it's going to be amazing. So you guys are in for a treat. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. Let's get into it. First of all, are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Yes? Awesome. Everybody's ready. Everybody's ready. All right. Love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love the thumbs up. Let's get it. So let me share my other screen. Hopefully this one is not glitchy. Let's go present. Present. All right. So all right. Perfect. Love you guys. Thank you for your patience. So here we go. Welcome to your momentum journey, guys. Welcome to your momentum journey. So this is the first slide. Okay. So the step number 1, right? And I know every single trainer starts off with this, but success leaves clues. You got to start thinking about like, hey, maybe if I'm not breaking through to the level that I've wanted to break through, where's my mindset at? Right? You got to really focus on this, guys. So step number 1 in having unstoppable momentum in your life, in your business, unstoppable momentum in your life, in your business, is to master your mindset. Master your mindset. Like, what are you putting into your mind every day? Okay. And I've actually asked this question to many of you. You guys have been to my training. So if you guys right now are seeing a ton of negativity on social media, that's not the world's fault, guys. That's your fault for looking at the stuff. The algorithm is going to continue to feed you negativity. Your focus expands what you see. The artificial intelligence that's running your Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, it's detecting, what is Leo looking at all day? What is Terry looking at all day? And then it's going to show you that, because the objective of the platform knows that if it's going to win, it's going to feed you stuff that you want to see. So if you keep seeing negativity, fear, panic, chaos, if you keep seeing that kind of stuff, guess what? You're responsible for that. You're the one that's watching that stuff. Every single person on social media right now has a different world that they see. Why? Because their focus is different. And I want you guys to like the social media platforms, unfortunately, have become the new news. Okay. I stopped watching the news 10 years ago because I was protecting my mindset. I was, I do so much. I read books, I go to seminars, I listen to audios, I do breath work, I work out, I do things to, you know, get myself in a good state. And then I would watch the news and it was panic, fear, chaos. I stopped watching that. You know what? That's not getting me into a good state. I'm stopping watching that. And then I also removed, scary movies. Same shit. It was the same thing. Started watching scary movies, and all of a sudden, I feel terrible. I feel terrible. I feel drained. Right? I know you guys agree with that, right? If you guys are watching negativity, you're gonna get in a negative state. So please, like right now, guys, if I'm gonna like tell you guys anything, how you create unstoppable momentum, you got to master your mindset. So it first starts off, there's little buttons on your social media where you could say, you know what, I don't want to see this. You can literally rewire your social media to stop showing you negativity and even political things, all of those things, because it's automatically going to feed you this stuff. You have to unsubscribe from it. Okay. So I want you to be like a detective, and I want you to be focused on like, what do I want? What kind of world do I want to live in? Right? You got to decide, do I live in a friendly universe? Do I live in a friendly world? Do I live in an unfriendly universe? Like that's the most important decision you need to make today. Okay? So, master your mindset. The way that I do it, you guys see me, right? I do gratitude. I'm super, super into gratitude. I do meditation. I do workouts. Even when I'm out here on vacation, every single day I'm doing something that's getting my blood flowing. I'm doing something that's getting me energized, getting me into the good in the good state. So, look, I'm going to share this link here for you guys. Check this website out that I just dropped into the chat. Everybody grab that really quick because this is actually going to be your workbook throughout this session. Okay. When you click on it, and look, guys, I created this just for this training. Okay. This is not a website that was like in reality before this. And this is the power of artificial intelligence, by the way. I said, you know what? Instead of giving everybody a workbook that I'm going to send everybody to, why not create an entire site for everybody? So this was just created for you guys. You guys are, I'm telling you guys, there's like 50 something of you here. You're the only people that have actually ever seen this. So has everybody clicked on the link? I want everybody to have the link. And by the way, I'm telling you, if you fill this out at the end, you are lovable.dev. And I'm going to do a whole class on this, guys. But isn't that pretty impressive? I literally created this entire site just for this. So the first thing it's going to ask you to do is fill out your first name, last name, and team name if you have one. And the reason why you want to do that is because every single thing you're going to put into this platform at the end, it's going to give you an outline, a PDF. And that PDF, we're going to take it and put it into ChatGPT, and it's going to help us to create your game plan. Okay. So do this as we're going. Okay. So mindset, first step on creating unstoppable momentum. Number two, step two is a clear vision. Clear vision. And your vision, guys, also has to have not only, hey, you know what? I want to sell 100 or 1,000 homes a year. By when? Because a goal without a deadline is a hallucination. You can just say, hey, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a billionaire. Okay, great. By when? By when? Our goal here at Let's Grow Movement is to serve 100,000 families a year to buy and sell real estate. And this is going to happen within the next 10 years. My first goal is that we sell 100,000 homes in, just in the time that we're here at EXP, right? So we're going to hit that within the next 2 years. We'll sell 100,000 homes as a community. But then the next goal is going to be, I want to sell 100,000 homes in 1 year as a community, right? So I want you guys to have a clear vision and by when. And if you guys are following along with the website, right? Again, you're going to put in your first name, you're going to put in your team name. And the next one is Well, it's actually the mindset one, right? Which was the first one. And then the next one is going to be about the vision. So are you guys following along? Are you guys using the site? Just want to get some feedback. I'm going to pause really quick because I want to make sure you guys are doing this. Pretty cool stuff, right? All right. Awesome. So clear vision. All right. Awesome. Thank you, Omar. Appreciate it, brother. Yes. All right. So clear vision, what, buy, when. Get very, very specific. Okay. Also, you want to define your 12-month outcome. So be very clear, right? If it's a, you know what, I want to sell 100 homes in this price point, this commission, get that clear. I want you to get really, really clear. Okay. And what happens with that is once you have clarity on your outcome, then naturally what's going to happen is that what actions am I going to put in place every single day that are going to help me to get there? Right. And I recommend every single one of you have at least 5 lead pillars, right? Part of the questionnaire is going to ask you, hey, what kind of lead pillars am I going to use? So, all right. And everybody's going to move at a different pace, by the way. I realize that most of you guys are going to go into the platform and you guys are going to start filling this out. So once you get to the end of it, just hit download. You guys are going to get a whole download, and then there's going to be a specific prompt that I'm going to give you guys to create the whole game plan. This is another one. Step number 3 to create an unstoppable momentum. You got to master your time. You got to master your time. And you got to first figure out, like, what is taking my time? Like, right, I asked myself this question. By the way, the first person that took this training was me. I created it, right? So I was auditing, like, what's taking my time? Social media, right? I scroll. Yes, I know. I have a lot of appointments. I'm very accountable, right? I do a lot of stuff, but social media still takes a lot of my time. So I said, like, what's my number one time waster? It's me just scrolling on social media. Right? So get honest with yourself. What's taking your time? Track your activities. And I want you guys to, like, really embrace this for the next 7 days. Track your activities. Like, how many conversations are you having? How many contacts did you do? How many follow-ups? How many escrows? How many listings? As you guys are filling out the questionnaire, by the way, fill it out to the best of your ability. You cannot get this wrong. Okay. You can't get this wrong. Just fill it out to the best of your ability. The more information you give it, the better output you're going to get. But master your time. And I really believe, just because I'm wired this way, you literally have to have it so detailed where you're waking up at a certain time every morning and you're going to bed at a certain time every morning. Like, you have to have a repetitive pattern that you're consistently doing, because part of being really successful is having good sleep, right? A lot of the time I would miss that part. And before you knew it, I started to feel burnout. So what time are you waking up? What time are you going to bed? What time are you getting lunch? When are you getting your haircut? When are you getting, personal care time? When is date night? When are you looking at your finances? Like, put all these things, like, write all these important things and put them in place so you can make them important. Whatever you measure expands, by the way. And lead generation, this is going to be a non-negotiable, guys. You see that, like, schedule 90-minute focus blocks, right? That's what I usually like to do. I like to do 90 minutes of focused, like, uninterrupted time blocks for productivity. And you also want to protect that. You want to make sure that you are booking it on your calendar like an appointment. What happens to most people, because I talk to agents every single day, they're like, Leo, I got this thing and I'm not doing the appointment anymore. You're being run by your clients, or you're being run by the urgent, and you're not honoring your own calendar. You need to make sure that you honor your own calendar. You can't just be pulled into multiple directions because somebody just gave you a call and said, go drop everything and go show me this house. That's cool. I know you want to get the transaction, but you can also ask to say, hey, you know what? Thank you for calling. I am definitely available to go show you this property. By the way, 3 o'clock is not going to work. We're going to actually do this at 5. Because what happens is that most people are running a reactive business. You're not running a proactive business. I made this mistake, by the way. Omar, thank you for being honest, bro. I made this mistake, by the way. I was very reactive. I would always answer the call to every single customer. They would say jump, I would jump. Like I was very reactive and I was getting pulled into so many different and I meet agents sometimes and I'm like, where's your mind at? Like we're having this conversation and they're like, "Oh, I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to do this." You only have that energy of like chaos because you've trained yourself to have that chaos. And you've also made it a habit. And you somehow have convinced yourself that being in chaos and having that anxiety energy is production. It's not. That's not productivity, by the way. Productivity is productivity. Anxiety is completely different. Most people aren't stuck in anxiety, by the way. I talk to a lot of agents all the time, and they're like anxious, 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 anxious. I'm getting pulled in so many different directions. So master your time. And let me give you guys the good news about your time. You control it. You're in charge. Nobody else. Nobody else. That's what allowed me to scale to 150 transactions a year. I controlled my time. Nobody else did. Everybody else was trying to pull me in different directions. I got my calendar. I would skip out on the weekend stuff. I would skip out on going to the bar. I would skip out on a whole many different things because I'm like, hey, I have an appointment. I'm sorry, I can't go. I lost a lot of my friends during this process, by the way. This happened, years back. But let me tell you, let me be honest with you guys. As you start to manage your time more wisely, people are going to look at you funny. They're going to try to tell you, hey, you think you're too good for us, all these BS. That's fine. They're on a whole different plan. They're not on your plan. And if they're not on your plan, if they're not on your level and they're not going where you're going, it doesn't matter what they say. Like, stop listening to them. They're not going to pay your bills at the end of the day. They're not going to help you to pave the way to your dreams. But a lot of people are going to try to guilt trip you with that. Even family, by the way, especially family. That happened to me. So, all right, cool. I went in on the time thing here. But the daily disciplines, this is also another one. This is another fundamental stepping stone. The daily disciplines. What are you doing? Right? This all goes into time management. Your morning routine, right? What's your intention for the day? Right? Your intention, by the way, this is my go ahead and borrow my intention for you if you think this resonates. But my intention from the beginning of me being a real estate agent was to sell a house a day. Like that was my intention. Like if you don't even have it as an intention to sell a house today, you're never going to do it. Most people are saying, well, I'm going to sell like a house a month. But what are you doing with the rest of the 29 days? It takes you one moment to get into a contract. So you need to make it as an intention, borrow it again if it resonates, that you're going to sell a house every day. And you got to stay consistent. The consistency over time is what's really going to build the momentum. Weekly planning, dedicate that time to map out what you're going to be doing. I do this on Sundays, by the way. Sunday is my day where I dedicate time to plan out my week. I'm looking at my calendar and I'm already like saying, all right, cool. This is what I'm doing. This is already what I have on the books. These are the time blocks that I've allotted for myself to prospect. And now I'm stepping into my week because I created it. Nobody else did. And what's your accountability structure, right? With discipline, you need to have at least one person in your life that you're telling your goals. And again, I do the same thing, guys, even in my level. Like it never stops. It never stops. The discipline never stops. The conversations never stop. The lead generation never stops. The follow-up never stops. As I've been here, right? In Rome, Italy, like I've been all these different places. I set up 22 appointments 22 appointments while I was here. So I don't stop. Okay. Now, step number 5. You got to master your core skills, your communication, because everything is communication. You got to develop clear, persuasive communication that builds trust and confidence and outcomes. Okay. So this is why I highlight skills mastery every week. You guys got to practice your skills. That way, when you're talking to your customer, it sounds very natural. If you sound like you're reading a script, you're not practicing enough because you need to embody it. The only purpose of a script is to give you a frame for you to step into the conversation, for you to have a clear intention of what you're going to extract from the conversation, no matter what customer you're dealing with. And how you expand your vocabulary, by the way, is by reading. Every single one of you should be reading every single day. Not because you're just learning new words. And more words you learn, the more powerful you are because you can go into different conversations and people understand. People will connect with you in a different level if you start to use different words. And you do that by reading. What time are you doing presentations, right? I would say practice your listing presentation, practice your buyer presentation, practice your calls, everything. Have it documented and figure out how you can polish it and how you can make it better. It's really important. This kind of blends in with this one, but it's mastering your language. And look at this quote. I wrote this down for you guys. Change your words, change your world. Change what you say, change your reality. You want to start to see new things, experience new things, start to say new things. I'm going to give you guys an example, right? Let's just say something happened. Nothing, it was maybe something that was not positive. Instead of saying, why does this always happen to me? Right? Because I used to say that. That was very lousy, by the way. My language used to take me like, hey, why is this always happening to me? Very lousy language. I said, what is this trying to teach me? Why is this happening? Why is this happening in this moment? What's the purpose behind why I'm here? Right? So start to reframe your language. Success is language. Limiting belief. I'm not experienced enough to handle this client, right? I let go and also would purposely not, I would miss appointments sometimes because I was like, I didn't feel good enough. I was like, you know what? I'm not qualified enough to be in that appointment. And that was limiting belief, right? Even as I've been doing leadership now for the last 7 years, I was very, very insecure in the beginning when I started doing this. I was like, man, who is this guy? Like I sold a ton of real estate. Now I'm stepping into leadership. There was a lot of limiting beliefs there, right? But as you start to become this new version of yourself, you need to start to practice this new version of yourself. That's the only way. And if you guys have, I mean, most of you talk to me to get into this company. When you guys talk to me in this conversation, most likely you guys heard me and you're like, man, this guy knows his stuff. He's very structured. He has it down. He feels comfortable, confident. The only reason that happens is because I practiced and I have also sucked at it many times. In the beginning, I did. And you got to be willing to be bad at these things. Like you got to be willing to practice and you got to be willing to like mess up. That's what builds confidence, by the way. Confidence is not going to be built by you reading about confidence. It's going to be about you doing the thing and then you bouncing back up and saying, I did it. That's what builds confidence. So that means you pick up the call, right? You call an expired, you call for sale by owner, you call a neighborhood, you go do the open house, you knock on that door, you call your sphere of influence, you get rejected, you feel that pain, but you bounce back up, you learn, you survive, you thrive. So, all right. Where are you guys at with the questionnaire, by the way? I know some overachievers in here are like probably done already. Where are you guys at? Are you guys following along? Is this helpful that you guys have this like booklet, right? Framework in the background? Drop it in the chat if you guys are still with me. All right, perfect. Love it. See, I wanted to engage you guys not only with your ears, with your eyes. I wanted to get you guys to also engage. Belia says just 50% done. Love it. All right, love it. Perfect, perfect. All right, awesome. Yes, and you guys may have to. My goal and his intention is that everybody goes through it today and finishes it. If you don't, for any reason, by the end of this call, you will have the recording and you will be able to go through it. And then I'm going to give you guys the prompt of how to also take that information and then put it onto AI to help you to develop a specific plan. It's going to be so awesome, guys. Okay. So this is another key to developing unstoppable momentum. Attract and connect with clients. Okay. So what's your daily outreach goal? What's your daily outreach goal? Like I've from the beginning of time have always ran this like specific model that I needed to again sell a house a day, but I also was lead generating 3 to 4 hours every day, right? You guys heard Coach Bill Pipes last week, right? He said under two, you get two escrows or under two escrows, right? You would either prospect for 3 hours if you had under two escrows, or you would prospect for an hour and a half to 2 hours if you had above two escrows. So make sure you guys, again, know your number, what you guys are doing. But look, I gave you guys a couple of ideas, right? Making 10 calls. You can send out 5 messages. You can also follow 3 warm leads. Miss Ellie said follow the questionnaire. Let me drop it into the chat again. Here we go. It's actually the link. I don't know if you saw the link, Ellie. Here we go. That link there. That's the questionnaire that you need to be filling out. It's basically like a workbook website. And I created this yesterday in less than an hour, by the way. Pretty crazy. So this is like, you got to have your daily like recipe of success, right? Your 10 outreaches, your 5 personal connections, like maybe it's a face-to-face. I mean, I got a guy that I know that all he does is that he takes his top 20 clients to lunch once a month and he makes $500,000 a year. Like, what are those things that are specific to you that you want to do, that you're going to incorporate, that you're going to be consistent with? It could be anything, right? There's a lot of people that leverage their gym, leverage their schools, leverage different trade organizations, right? But add this to your list of things. Follow-ups to 3 warm leads. Yes, I will. Yes, Christina, I will. I'm going to be doing a class on this. Absolutely. Share valuable content on social media, right? Because again, when you guys signed up for real estate, you guys signed up for 15 jobs. I'm just going to tell you right now, you guys signed up for 15 jobs. So unstoppable momentum requires for you to do all these different jobs. So client acquisition is an important one. Sorry about the background because I'm here at the airport, so it might be noisy. Also, get referrals. It's really important that you guys get referrals and develop your Google My Business, right? We have talked about Google My Business and how powerful it is. Make sure that you guys are getting reviews and that you're getting reviews on your Google page, because when people research you, they could go to Zillow, but I am like a huge believer in Google Business. That is your modern day brick and mortar, right? Like Mr. Anthony Grinshaw says all the time. And also, what are your strategic partnerships with your business, right? Attorneys, title reps, lenders, escrow officers, termite companies. You guys got to make your list of your strategic partners, because what you want to do with your strategic partners, and also ask them for what it is that you're looking for them, right? They're going to be looking for you to send them business. So there has to be an exchange. It has to be a win-win. Hey, you want me to send you an escrow? You want me to send you a loan? You want me to send you a termite inspection? You want me to send you a home inspection client? I expect you to refer me a client, right? Have these conversations. Make your list of your referral, your strategic partnerships, because a lot of business that I've gotten, a lot of agents that have even joined my company have come from these strategic partners. All right, that's step 7. Now, step 8, part of the unstoppable momentum formula, guys, is your follow-up. I have followed up with people to join this company for 5 years in a row. I'm still following up with people right now. Like, I'm almost 7 years into this company. I'm still following up with people that I talked to that they're still not here, but people are joining and joining. Some people are going to join now or later. It doesn't matter. Or some people are going to do business with you now or later. And that's the same way you want to do it. I remember when I was farming and I was calling neighborhoods, somebody would say, hey, Leo, I'm going to sell in a year. All right, perfect. I'm following up. I'm following up. Year comes around. Hey, you know what? I'm waiting another 6 months. Hey, I'm waiting another 8 months. Most people, guys, if they don't get a client within that first time, they forget about that customer because they're not focusing on the 97%. The 97%, there's gold. So what CRM are you going to use? Okay. Pick whichever one. We have 3 here at EXP. Pick your CRM. Which CRM are you choosing? Because the follow-up, in addition to you picking up the phone and calling them, I want you to get so detailed of what happens with the customer. A new lead comes in. They get a text message. They get an email. How often do they get an email? You open an escrow. What happens with that customer? You close a transaction. What happens with that customer? Right? What is your follow-up process? The good news is that all of these things is why a CRM is powerful. And we have 3 of them here, by the way. In the questionnaire, you actually can choose which one is your CRM of choice. Okay. But you select one. If you don't have a CRM, guys, it's like you're driving this beautiful car and you're not even using the engine. You're like literally just coasting. You need the engine. The engine is the CRM. It's so important. Most people, yes, all of these CRMs are available with EXP. Most people are not wanting to focus on their CRM until they get their business to like X. But your business will never get there if you don't focus on your systems now. Okay. So measure everything, right? This is another really important thing because that way you know your formula. This is another thing that's made me really successful is that I'm measuring everything. I measure what I do because I want to figure out is what I am doing working or is what I'm doing not working? You need to measure. What is your conversion? Like how many follow-ups does it take for you to get a new customer? How many new leads do you need to get a new customer? What are the types of things you're doing to get new clients, right? You need to measure all these things. That way you know your number for yourself. Once you know your numbers, like these 4 metrics here, you're going to be able to predict your success because you're like, all right, I'm 24 leads away from a new customer. I already know a new transaction. You need to know this. And build a smart system, which is basically your SOP. By the way, I've created a 54-page SOP package for you guys. If you guys don't have it, I think Miss Terry, you might have the SOP package. If you have it, if you could drop it into the chat for everybody. But you need to make an SOP for everything you do. If not, we'll send it out. We'll send it out in the email because I'm going to send out an email anyways with everything included. But you want to make a standard operating procedure for your client onboarding, your email, your social media postings. What are you doing to prepare for a meeting? By the way, when you document your process, then it's going to gift you the opportunity to hire somebody. You will never hire somebody because, like me, most of the time, I wasn't documenting. I was like, I'm too busy. I'm too busy. I don't have time to train. I don't have time to train. I don't have time to train. Well, guess what? If you don't make the time to train an assistant, you are going to keep that position forever. You need to make the time. Okay. Create a step-by-step system. These are called standard operating procedures. And again, if you need my SOP package, make sure, actually, I'll send it over to you guys in the recording. So document the genius, right? Document what works, the SOPs. The other way that I create SOPs, by the way, is by doing exactly what I'm doing right now, is by recording my screen. Record your screen writing up a contract, right? If you're writing up an offer, loom.com is a free source that you can record your screen writing up an offer. You're writing up a listing. You're inputting a listing. You're preparing for a showing, right? You're sending out an email. Like document yourself doing these things and put it in a library of recordings because when you hire somebody, you can just give them all those recordings and guess what? They can just execute on all the things that you've already taught them how to do. And they're going to create their standard operating procedure off of the recordings. This ties in directly with mastering delegation. You can't delegate without creating the SOPs. You can, but it's going to be a mess. I've already done that. I've tried to delegate before I created SOPs and it was a mess. I hired assistants. I hired people in the past, right? And They had no direction. And they're like, well, what do I do? It's crazy. It's chaos. So the only way you're going to master delegation is by creating standard operating procedures. And I just realized I'm like 5 minutes away from like our time being up. By the way, this is like a 5-part class. I'm trying to condense in one class here, so I understand that. So we are going to definitely be doing a part 2. But yes, this is the crazy stuff that I'm over here in Rome, and like I'm creating new stuff for my people here. Let's get it. All right. Another key step is you got to master automation. This is all going to be with your CRM, your email, building a magnetic brand, guys. This is a consistency, right? On LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, podcasting, blogging. Guys, no matter what platform you guys go to, I'm posting. Test me. Go to X, go to Instagram, go to TikTok, go to YouTube, go to LinkedIn, go to Threads. Every single platform I'm posting on every single day. So that's how you build a magnetic brand, right? That's why I get people all the time. Like, I see you everywhere. Yeah, because I am posting everywhere. All right. Step 13 was your mastering automation, which ties in with your email workflows, your scheduling tools, which is also part of the link. Okay. Step 15, you want to turn your clients into champions, which means, hey, you got to prepare your clients to succeed with you, right? Most people are also reactive in transactions because you're not preparing your customers. You're not telling them what's going to happen. And when it doesn't happen, or when it does happen, they're going to look at you and like, hey, you never told me this was going to happen, right? So you got to prepare. You got to learn from every single client. That way you can fine tune your onboarding process for your new customer. You get a new buyer, you get a new seller, you get a new lead. You want to turn your clients into raving fans, and you're going to do that by focusing on the process. All right. So we have like 3 more minutes. Where are you guys at with the questionnaire, by the way? Where are you guys at with the questionnaire? Put it in the chat. Thank you, Arturo. Okay, Omar's almost done. We got somebody that's done. Perfect. This is the last step. We might not have time to get into it here, but once you guys get your download, your free download, all right, after you guys complete the whole thing, you guys are going to have a prompt that I'm going to give you guys here on the screen here shortly. This is the prompt right here. So you want to screenshot this, or I'm going to actually drop it into the chat for you guys. Give me a second here. Where is my prompt at? But look at this prompt, right? Once you guys are done, just so you guys understand what I created for you guys, like once you guys finish this whole questionnaire, you guys are going to download a PDF, and you're also going to copy the entire thing. And you're going to use this prompt into ChatGPT. So this is what you're going to put in there. I'm a real estate agent, and I filled out a detailed document about my business goals, systems, pain points, and how I want to use AI. Below is a full document. Please read the entire document carefully. I'm telling this to ChatGPT, right? Based on everything in it, create a step-by-step AI integration plan customized for my real estate business. Your responses must include the following sections: business summary, recommended AI tools, quick wins, integration plan, optimized strategy, pitfalls to avoid. All of this stuff is going to be done by you finishing today's class. And then when you copy all of the text, you're going to paste it underneath this prompt. And then it's going to give you the entire game plan. Actually, let me show you, because I did this already, right? I'm going to show you guys really quick. Yes, I'll give you guys a questionnaire. Give me a second here. ChatGPT. Because I did this thing. Let me show you guys. Because again, I was the first student of this training. So I'm like, okay, cool. This works. First, I want to find out if it works for me. All right. Where is my AI integration for real estate agents? Prompts. Oh, here it is. Unstoppable momentum. Okay, so this is the intro. Where are we at? Okay. Let me show you guys my screen, all right? Thank you guys for your patience, by the way. I'm in a smaller screen today. So I took that prompt that I just told you guys about, which is this one. And then I copied all of my responses, as you guys can see here. Right, all of my responses of the chat, and look what it created for me. My business summary, my recommended AI tools, my quick wins, my integration plan step by step, my automate workflows, my train plus delegation plan, my optimization strategy for the next 90 days, it's even telling me, like, dude, my pitfalls to avoid. Let me give you guys a prompt. We'll put it in here. All right. Let me see here. This is the exact prompt that you guys want to use. It's all about prompting. Darn it, it doesn't fit into the chat, guys. Let me put it in the chat. Let me actually just screenshot the prompt, guys, because I can't copy and paste it into the actual. Here it is. Shoot. I'm not sharing the main screen. Hold on a second. Okay. Well, this is it. Here's the prompt. All right. Perfect. So I promise you guys, I'm going to send you, like, in the recording today, I'm going to include the SOP playbook. I'll include this prompt and rewatch this training. At the end of it, you also have the ability to do a one-on-one strategy session with me when you finish. Okay, so you guys can click that, and I already connected that. But I hope you guys found this helpful. I'm already at the top of the hour. I got to leave the airport because I've been here for a whole hour. But I hope you guys found this valuable. I hope this was great for you guys. Thank you guys for tuning into this training. Watch the replay, right? Play it back. Make sure you guys tune in. Everybody that's part of the WhatsApp community is going to get a copy of everything I just talked about today. But make sure you guys finish it, okay? If you guys didn't finish it, which sounds like most of you guys didn't, please finish it. This is going to be game changer for you guys. All right. Awesome. Signing off. Appreciate you guys. And I'm going to let it down. Dun, 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 dun. Bye, Miss Terry. See you later. I'm going to go enjoy Paris. Buenas tardes. Nos
Have a good
vemos.
trip home, Leo. Have a good
Thank you, my
trip
friend.
home.
I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much. See you guys.